If you've clicked on this video, you probably don't need me to convince you that furniture flipping is a great opportunity. But as a leather professional and a guy who's worked with a lot of leather flippers, I do want to convince you that leather might be like the hidden gem of opportunities, even better than wood, even better than upholstery. And what I want to do in this video is tell you why you should listen to me, then give you kind of a plan, an outline of a plan of how you can choose and refinish and sell good leather furniture. Give you a very specific example of a job that I did recently with my son and how that would translate for you into a great flipping opportunity. Give you some sort of examples of success, people that I've worked with in the Baltimore, Washington area who have done flipping and done a great job with it and achieved some of their personal business and financial goals. And then just end by kind of inviting you in, asking you to subscribe to the channel and reach out to me, giving you my contact information, telling you a little bit about what other things I can offer you in the area of leather furniture flipping. So why should you listen to me first? My story. I'm a 30-year leather pro. I've been working in Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area at furniture stores and retailers and homes and office buildings and airplane hangars for decades. And over the last 10 years, I've built a relationship with several furniture flippers. I first did a bunch of work for them, but then over the years, I realized, their bottom line is important. They want to be able to make as much money as possible. So in a lot of cases, I started helping them learn to clean and do minor repairs themselves so that they can make more money on it. And I'm perfectly happy to do that. So that's really my story of how I got connected with flippers and started to help them on the ground. And then, maybe 6 months ago, I got invited to be on Ivy Flip podcast and shared my experience, and boom, it just got blown up. Other people reached out from around the country and the world, and people are buying my leather course that has kind of been sitting dormant for a long time. And it just, the light bulb went on. It probably should have 10 years ago, that I could take the leather knowledge that I have and help furniture flippers learn to buy and flip and sell leather furniture for more money. So that's what I have to offer. It's kind of congealed into what you'd say, like a 3-step plan, I guess, for you to utilize. And the first stage of that plan is how to pick the right pieces. It's really important to buy something that you can handle, that with minor skills you can refurbish and bring up to sell for a lot more than you buy it. That's the first thing I like to teach. The second is those basic skills, how to clean it, how to repair scratches and sew seams and do minor color work that doesn't take years of practice, but that you can do. Teach you the basic skills of refurbishing leather. And then third is just how to build relationships with the people that are buying from you so that they trust you. Because the techniques I'm going to give are time-tested techniques. To be honest, there's a lot of crap out there on the internet that is gonna make leather look okay for a couple of months, but then the people are not gonna want to keep it because it's gonna peel and crack, and they're not gonna be repeat customers. They're not gonna be referring you to others. So that's it. Like 3 sort of steps or aspects I want you to learn is how to pick it, learning the basic skills, and using skills that are trustworthy skills so that you can actually grow this into something that's reputable and has integrity. Now I wanted to shift gears to an example of a job that I did a few months back with my son. These are 2 Mitchell Gold leather chairs. They are, were kind of beat up and faded. Customer asked me out to their house to restore them. And how this sort of clicked into an opportunity to share something with flippers was that I realized I did not use any super special skills in this job. I didn't have to use spray guns or complicated base print techniques. I used leather wax. I used basic techniques. I used, years of experience to know how to clean and prep and prime and add the wax and dry the wax. But all of these skills are things that I think I could pass on to someone with not a lot of experience. You could buy that same set, and watching a few videos, learning a few basic do's and don'ts for me, I think you could flip this and sell it for, another $1,000 more than you bought it for, just because you refurbished it a significant amount, but not necessarily to the level of a refinishing pro. So just to be more specific and show you kind of the types of tips that I want to be sharing through this channel, there's sort of some sanding techniques. When it comes to sanding leather, you don't want to do it the wrong way. You could ruin it. But I show you a few ways that sanding is a prepping process for restoring leather. Cleaning techniques. There's a lot of simple techniques that make cleaning happen correctly and evenly, and prepping the furniture for new color. And colored. What kind of colored processes, waxes should you use? I show you several here and several of the beginning techniques of how to do that color work. And then sort of the finish of it. This is overlooked often, but honestly, if people come and look at your furniture that you're going to flip to them, they're going to touch it. Leather furniture is something people want to touch. So I teach you how to prep the feel at the end, how to buff it out, how to wax it and make it feel great. So that's the example of this Mitchell Gold set and all these little techniques. Honestly, a couple of dozen techniques that I wrote down that can translate to you. These are just a few of them, but I'll be putting more out in future videos. Now sort of want to switch from that example to sort of the bigger picture of success in flipping leather, and refer back to the people I've worked with in the Baltimore, Washington area. One example, Scott and Patrick are a father-son team that started a retail store, actually got some physical space in Baltimore, and are crushing it. I mean, probably nearly $1 million a year they're doing, and a lot of that is leather, and it's choosing leather that is, has a high reputation, a high retail, and they buy it cheaper, fix it up, or have me help them fix it up and sell it for a significant amount more than they're buying it for, and have made a great business out of it, have employees, everything. Another, picture of success here has been Kristen. She is a mom who wanted to be at home with her 2 boys, so she started buying furniture and putting it all over the place in her house, and now has a full basement of furniture, a lot of which is leather, and she's been able to supplement her family's income and stay at home with her sons and do this leather cleanup and sell online and flip and make good money doing it. There's one more guy on the Eastern Shore, Hubie, who I think his goal is just freedom. He just doesn't want to do it like anybody else is doing it. So he buys leather furniture and goes all over the place to pick it up and resells it for a lot more than he buys it for. It has me down to do some complicated jobs, but he does a lot of basic stuff himself. He's a flipper who's learned how to deal with leather. And all of those people are experiencing more success because they're buying leather, and it's an opportunity in the market. And I want you to have that. So to close it out, I guess I just want to invite you in. I intend to put out more content regularly to help flippers with leather. And so if you want to subscribe to this channel, I'd love that. If you want to reach out to me personally, Chris@leatherhelp.com, and I'm interacting with a bunch of flippers on pictures of particular jobs they're doing, giving them my advice, and suggesting the products that I would recommend to them. So you can definitely reach out to me by email, and let's interact. Finally, if you're ready to jump in with both feet, I do have a course, learn.leatherhelp.com, that we did with real guys in a real warehouse setting, 10 years ago in Frederick, Maryland. And that Learn course is online now and teaches you a ton of the basic skills, including extensive work on color matching, which most people will agree is the hardest part. Yeah, I really do think leather is like the missing opportunity in the flipping world right now. And I want to be a part of helping make that dream come true for you. So follow me, engage. I'd love to hear from you and see pictures of what you're doing.